Hey y'all, Melissa of Melly Sews with you today, and today I'm going to show you how I tidied up and decluttered my studio. I'm going to be moving in a few weeks, so this studio will no longer be in this place. Now my process is heavily based on the book, The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up by Marie Kondo, and I've linked that below. It's also very heavily influenced by her show, Tidying Up on Netflix. So the principles that I'm going to be applying from her method are that you tidy by category, not by area. So instead of tidying this part of the shelf and then that closet, I'm going to do this by categories. And I'm going to do notions, then books, then patterns, fabric, and finally miscellaneous things in my studio. Another principle from the book and from her method is to tidy in order of least emotional attachment to most emotional attachment. So again, my categories, I'm going to go notions, books, patterns, fabric, and then miscellaneous. And the reason I chose to go in that order is because I'm least attached to my notions and most attached to my fabric. The final principle is when I put things back, as much as possible, I want to store things in a way that I can see everything I have. Now you can look behind me and you can see I already apply that to my fabric and zippers and things that are hanging on the wall behind me or shelved behind me. But within those bins, I want to make sure that I've organized the things I'm storing in them vertically so that I can pull it out and I can see what I have without having to dig through piles within the bins. So those are going to be the principles I'm following. Let's start with what happened when I tidied up my notions. Surprised about at this pile of notions and stuff behind me. Like in my head, I didn't think I had this many notions, and I'm also surprised by how much trash I found that needs to be thrown away and how many multiples I have. I am going to get a box to do a giveaway of the multiples that I don't need because some of them are still in packages, and I'm sure that's because they were given to me. I'm going to put away the things that I definitely know where they go. And then we'll see what's left over to sort out, and I'll have to figure out like what goes in the trash and what I'm going to find a place for. Okay, so after putting all those notions together and sorting through them, here's what I've ended up with. I'm keeping these little wood spools because I think they're cute. Most of that is going to end up in here, and that is going to be donated along with one of my cutting mats. We have a place in town called Austin Creative Reuse, so I'm going to give this to them because they specialize in reuse donated craft supplies, sewing supplies, things like that. So this is perfect. And then I ended up with one box of notions that I am going to make a giveaway box. The rest of it was either trash or I had a place for it. So I feel pretty good about the notions. I'm ready to tackle the fabric. So I'm just going to start pulling stuff out from behind me here. If I can't figure out what I want to make with it, then I need to decide, does it go in the donate pile or does it go in the de-stash pile? So these larger pieces that are just maybe not something I'm going to see myself sewing anytime soon, I'm putting these in the de-stash pile. And then things like this, which is sheer netting, I don't know what I would do with it. I don't know what anyone else would do with it. Not even sure why I have it. That stuff's going in the donate pile. So this lace, I think it's really pretty. But I've had it for at least 5 years and I still haven't sewn it. It's probably time for somebody else to get a chance to play with it. So this one I was going to give away or donate, but then it occurred to me this would actually make a really pretty tank top if there's enough. I think this is still going to go in the donate pile. That's not quite enough to keep. So I'm still going through and touching each thing to see what sparks joy, but this is another really pretty lace, and it's really soft, that I've had for a very long time, and I've never sewn it. Okay, I'm going to take a break here, and I'm going to move the camera so you can see the last stack that I'm sorting, and you can see my piles on the floor. Okay, so here I am on the floor with my floor piles of things that, most of this is just stuff that I've had for a long time and I haven't sewn it, so that's why it's gonna need to go. In this spot is the last section that I want to go through. This is where I tend to put things like fleece or leftover scraps of like large fabric. This is like 100% wool felt. I don't remember what I bought it for. I'm not sure what I'm saving it for, so maybe somebody else can use that. A lot of the other stuff down here too is also fabric from costumes probably. Like, I don't know why else I would have red satin unless I used it for a costume. So same thing with like felt and things. This is not really fabric that I tend to sew very often, so probably I have it because it was something I made when my kids were little, and they're not little anymore. Some more satin that I don't need. Pretty sure this is wool suiting also, but my son has outgrown the suit that was made out of it. Okay, this is like half of a beach towel. Oh, I know what I made. I made a swim cover out of that. I still use the swim cover, but I don't need the rest of the beach towel. That is quite a bit of fabric there. And then some of this isn't even worth donating, like a wadded up piece of tulle with a hole in it, that's just gonna have to go to the trash. Okay, I honestly was gonna be making a dress where I probably was gonna need some of this netting, and I didn't know I had it because it was crammed back in there. So I'm gonna be keeping this, but I need to wrap it so that I'll know that it's there. This looks like one of those bags that you use to transport like the collapsing chairs, the folding chairs like for soccer games, but I'm not gonna fix that. I don't even know why I have this. This is trash too. Alright y'all, so after sorting through that entire shelf, this is what I'm keeping over here.